Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here in slightly better spirits than yesterday when it comes to the English football team, who have thoroughly put me in the morgue of the footballing mindset for the past couple of days now. I think I'm getting over it just about. Sorry to your opposition fans as well who aren't English and have no interest in England as well, but a lot of us are English and are still hurting a little bit. But it is transitioning, it's turning. That ship is turning towards Leeds United again, and 4 weeks away from the opening game against Manchester United, the old enemy. Now, today what I wanted to talk about is a trio of targets that have been released by Graham Smythe, but obviously by Victor Orta and Leeds United. So it looks like Leeds United are going to be pursuing certain targets for Kiko Casilla, who's moved to Elche in Spain on a season-long loan, which looks to become a permanent, and the 34-year-old's time at Leeds United is done, isn't it? We know it's done. It's better for Leeds, it's better for him that he has left. And is it going to be a permanent fixture at Elche, or is he going to have a loan there, impress there and move somewhere else? We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, I guess good luck to Kiko Casilla. But that opens the door, doesn't it? Now, do you want experience? Do you want a Lee Grant? Do you want a Tom Heaton, a player of that calibre who's going to come in and be that experienced head that helps out Illan Meslier, who is going to be our goalkeeper for the next 15 years, touch wood, hopefully? Or do you want a young goalkeeper to come in and compete with Illan Meslier and see what happens? Well, it looks like Leeds United are looking to bring in a young goalkeeper, not an experienced head, a young goalkeeper, which I find absolutely fascinating because it almost opens the door for a little bit of competition. And is this Leeds forward planning for potentially, don't shoot me down here, a Illan Meslier sale where we can make, you know, I mean, he's a very sellable asset, isn't it? It looks like PSG have already asked about him. And is that why Leeds United are forward planning and bringing in potentially an up and coming young goalkeeper so they can both fight it out for that #1 jersey? That's just a theory I have, but it'll be interesting to see, fascinating to see what happens. But yeah, the names that have been released: FREDDIE WOODMAN, obviously on loan at Swansea last year, was a pivotal part for 2 seasons at Swansea. He's been absolutely fabulous, but you forget that he's actually been on loan from Newcastle. It's that Jack Harrison scenario from Manchester City, isn't it? When they're on loan for a couple of seasons and you forget about the parent club, the original club, but he's still a Newcastle player. Now, from what we know, our end as well, it looks like he is going to be featuring for Newcastle in pre-season for the first games. I believe it's Harrogate and York City. Now, whether or not FREDDIE WOODMAN is going to sign for a club or is going to be let out on loan, you know, you look at Newcastle, Dubravka, they've got a couple of other keepers there. I think they've got a young lad called Gillespie who's coming through the ranks. From what we know, from what we've heard, Newcastle are still looking to send FREDDIE WOODMAN out on loan again. Okay, so that is going to be the venture, because what they want is for Woodman to be playing regularly for Newcastle in the future. You know, he's done so well at Swansea. So I think that's the favourable pathway for someone like FREDDIE WOODMAN. Obviously, he's the player out of the trio that we know of. And if anything, I do believe that is going to be slightly unlikely, because I know Dubravka's there, but FREDDIE WOODMAN's going to be a top keeper in the English game. So I don't understand why Newcastle would let him go. And then if you're looking at FREDDIE WOODMAN, would he want to come in when he's been #1 at Swansea for 2 seasons now and compete with Illan Meslier for the #1 shirt? And how much is it going to cost as well to prize him away from Newcastle's grips, you know, an up and coming goalkeeper like that? So that's going to be something to definitely keep an eye on. I don't think that one will get done. It's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But the FREDDIE WOODMAN one, I cannot see happening. I think this is where we're going to see Victor Orta really utilise his continental scouting network, and we're going to get some player in potentially who we've never heard of, and that'll bring me on to the next couple of names. So the Levante goalkeeper Dani Cardenas has been spoken of as well as a target there, obviously playing in the Spanish league there. And Valerenga's goalkeeper Klassen, who has been a first team regular in Norway now for a couple of years, and he's made 13 clean sheets in 55 appearances, and you know, so someone like that would be a decent backup. We've always got to think that if we are not feeding into the notion that this individual is going to be competing with Meslier, you know, for a potential sell-on for Meslier in the future, then this individual is just going to be second string, and he's not going to be competing with Meslier. It's just going to be some person who is there. We're going to pay him a wage and he's going to come in and do a job. So I would prefer the starter, to be honest, because I think in the goalkeeper position, it's always healthy to have competition. I think it's very healthy to have competition. Now, the next rumour, guys, is Nandez, Nahitan Nandez. We're still talking about him now, the Cagliari midfielder, but apparently they are not lowering their valuation of 31 million, which I find really, really interesting because, you know, we're talking about, you know, clubs around the globe at this moment in time suffering in terms of finances, and you feel that for Nandez, they would lower that valuation. But no, the Uruguayan, it looks to be 31 million. But from what I understand from Leeds United Live, the company that, you know, I work for, that there is... That's more of a long list. That's more of a long list and not a short list, really. And Nandez, a lot of the fire is coming from the end of his agents. And if you know, it's a lot of Corello, De Sport and Calcio Mercato and publications like that, which, to be fair, is where the Firpo link started coming from. You know, it started coming from their side and not ours. And then we started getting the information. It was drip fed to us on the English side. So there is still definitely, you know, potential for something to happen with Nandez there, but from what we understand, it is part of a long list. And you've got to think, guys, Leeds will be interested in so many players. There'll be a massive database that Victor Orta is working on. Just because a publication says we're interested in a certain player, there are so many hoops to go through, so many more hoops to go through for Leeds United to actually acquire a player, and that is where the massive difference is in terms of a football transfer. So I really can't see that one getting done. I think the valuation's way off, and I cannot see Leeds going for that. You know, you look at what we've been doing in terms of the valuation of certain players, Koch, Llorente, Rafinha, Firpo. I just cannot see Leeds United going for that next bracket, which is 35 million for a central midfielder, but I could be wrong. That's going to be it for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd be really interested to hear what you say about the rumours, what your thoughts on the keeper, the trio that have been spoken of today. Can you see us getting any of them? What would you rather? You know, would you rather a bit of competition for Meslier? Do you think if we're getting a young body in, which it looks like we're going to be doing in terms of the goalkeeper, do you think the reason behind that is because we're looking into the future where there might be an occasion where we do sell Meslier on and this player can just come into that mould pretty nicely? I think that's a really interesting talking point. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. I'm not saying, by the way, there that Meslier is going to be moving on. Touch wood, he stays forever and ever. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you like as well. If you don't like it, I have no indication that you're enjoying it. Check out the Rafinha special as well, which is the One Leeds merchandise, in the section below. If you want to make any contribution to the channel, that really helps us out as well. And we will see you tomorrow, guys, promptly with another transfer video. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.